All right, guys, it is the 29th of December, and these guys don't like my streak. I don't really give a shit, to be honest, because the Eagles are undefeated in December, so I don't give a shit what any of you guys think. I'm riding the ultimate high right now. Birds are undefeated. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good? Thumbs
Bad.
up. Oh, well,
well.
yes. I'm sorry.
I'm
Let's
doing
address the
well.
elephant in the room, the Giants fan. Give him a solo.
Hey, what's up, Giants fan? What's up, loser?
Whatever. I said we were going to lose, didn't I? Check the
You
tape.
did.
Roll it back. I said we were going to lose.
You did say
Declan,
that.
on our behalf, because we feel bad for you for taking the L this week.
No. I don't
wanna
want
do the
that.
honors?
I don't want that. Hit that intro.
Guys, it's time for your favorite segment.
My Collins. Let's get it.
Hey, sponsored by El Diablo Burritos. If you guys haven't already, check out the phenomenal El Diablo Burritos. It is a favorite of all guys who went to our high school in Wilmington. It's a convenient walk away from Trolley Square. They have 5 convenient locations in the state of Delaware. Thank you to El Diablo for sponsoring these weekly call-ins. And if you guys haven't already, definitely give them a try. Our first call-in is actually one of my good friends from the Up for Debate podcast. Jay Fly, what's going on?
What's poppin', everybody? Good to be here.
What's up, J Fly? How you been?
I'm good, bro. Shout out to Wilmington, Delaware, too. 302 was popping. The whole state, I found out the whole state is 302. So I never heard that.
It's not big enough to have.
Also, did you know that Delaware is not bigger than New York City? Fun fact.
I
Really?
didn't know that. That's ridiculous because it looks bigger.
That's
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very true. Because
Is that based off square mileage or population?
No,
population.
Population, because
Okay.
New York City
I was
has like a
gonna
million
say.
people, and Delaware only has like 999 or 95.
Nobody lives in the bottom 2/3 of Delaware. Everybody lives in like Wilmington or
true.
Newark.
It's one whole area code. We got like a different area code every like 10 minutes that you drive over here in California. So anyway.
Well, so Jay, I know you're not an Eagles fan, but you are a Hurts fan.
I am.
You watched the game? How'd you
I did watch. I watched the football team on Tuesday, and then they played again against the Giants, I believe, right?
Yeah, and they fucking destroyed the Giants.
Oh, is that who they
whatever.
played,
That's
Declan?
fine.
They
They destroyed
Giants.
Mike
I
Glennon,
was
Jack.
calling it a football
They
game.
destroyed
necessarily.
Mike Glennon,
No,
Jack. Come on now.
No, you're forgetting Jake Fromm.
Jake
Saquon
Fromm
Yeah, he
was
should have
not-
stayed
I
in that
remember
game. He should have stayed in the game. Come on.
That was an offense tied together with like dental floss.
Exactly.
Oh, it's been like that all year. It's ridiculous. I mean, the defense played well for the first like 2 quarters, and then they couldn't get off the field. It's just that's
it was
just how it is.
3-3 for a
That's how
while,
the Giants
right?
are.
And
Yeah,
it was
it was-
like 35-3. Like when I flipped back.
Yeah.
So-
the offense couldn't stay on the field.
And I know, Jay, you came on earlier this season, and you were a big supporter of Hurts. Are you still that same supporter, or do you think we should split it with Minshew? What do you think?
No, I like Hurts. I like Minshew too, though. But I like Hurts. I like the Eagles. If Hurts, this is the bottom line. They're in the playoffs, in my opinion. I think they're in the playoffs. The Falcons are their biggest threat, in my opinion. That's not really much of a threat. So I think the Eagles are good. If they can make a run with Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts can help that offense with the run game, because the run game has to come first with Miles Sanders. You're saying if Jalen Hurts could do that, and they could go and make something happen with, what I'm saying? They could do what Nick Foles did that one year when they won the Super Bowl. I'm a Birds fan. Go Birds. I'm there 100%. I'll meet you at the parade. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I don't see anything. I don't see he can't throw the ball great. He doesn't have a great arm. Doesn't have great accuracy. But I don't see like a big flaw in his game for what they're asking him to do in that role in the offense, in my opinion. That's why I like him. If he's the guy like we were just talking about, not to make this man feel bad about his team, but Mike Glennon, there's nothing that Mike Glennon does well enough that I want him on the field.
Agreed, by the way.
Jake Fromm. What was that?
I said agreed, by the way. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, and there's nothing. I don't like it. So Jalen Hurts will do what he needs to do to win games, in my opinion. And if the defense can play to that level to win games, and they're good enough to win games, Jalen Hurts is not going to lose you games, in my opinion. So
Right.
That's what I feel like. I don't know if he's going to be the guy for 10 years, but I like him.
Yeah, we'll see what happens after his rookie contract's up. But you hit on the run the ball, and we've been doing that, been successful. But now we're plagued with Jordan Howard being injured and Miles Sanders being injured. So it's kind of putting a stop to the run game now because we don't really have a running threat anymore unless you put in Boston Scott, which he played well. He scored a touchdown. So, I mean, that's my one issue is Miles Sanders and Howard are great running backs, but they get injured all the time. So I don't know if what Dalton.
It just sounds like excuses.
I'm just saying.
I mean, this team, we got Jordan Howard, we got Boston Scott,
Yeah,
we got a plethora of line at running backs. Don't worry, I'm just busting your balls. But think, go ahead.
We have that, but they get injured. So I mean,
that's true. That's why we have a lot of them, though. I mean,
yeah.
Imagine if we just had Miles Sanders right now, like we would be fucked. Honestly, imagine. Good point, though, Jack. Imagine honestly if we had Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard, we'd still be fucked.
Yeah.
So we got Gainwell. I just think a lot of people are sleeping on Gainwell. Like, put the kid in, let him start. Give me Darren Sproles vibes. I don't know, Josh. You get quiet up there.
Hey, I'll say on the Jalen Hurts. The last thing I'll say about Jalen Hurts today is that if Miles Sanders is out from the playoffs and you have to let this guy just throw like 30 passes to see if he can win the game and they lose by like 40 or something like that, he might be done in Philadelphia. But if he somehow wins in the playoffs, then he might be your guy. That's all I'll say. We gotta wait and see what he does in the big time moments and when it counts.
Okay, Jalen Hurts will never win a game throwing the ball that way. Who cares what running back? I don't care if we put Dillard back there running back. I love Sanders. I love Boston Scott, Howard. Running back by committee is going to win us games. Who cares? Our offensive line is what's helping this rush attack. No, I meant Dillard. You can give the ball to anybody on this roster who's not playing offensive line. I guarantee you they'll average 4 yards carry, which is good. You only need 3. You need 3 yards of play. 3 yards of play that will win you a Super Bowl because you'll never have to punt.
Yeah, that's true.
Offensive line. Offensive line is the MVP of this roster, the entire offensive line.
So whatever. Okay. That's true. That's true. Very true.
We got to go ahead, Jack.
No, what are you saying? Go ahead.
I was going to say, after you say this, we got to get into our first topic too, which
let's
is
get the topic. Let's just get into it right now.
All right. You got a hatred for this motherfucker. Why don't you break it down first? Apparently, this bum right here.
No, you're done talking, Dalton. Jonathan Gannon is the worst coach ever. Me and Dalton talked about this multiple times. He's a good secondary, linebacker, safety coach, but not
defensive back.
Yeah, there, defensive back, but not a defensive coordinator. And the fact, who's so stupid to hire this motherfucker at their head coach? Like, what? They must be, drinking the Kool-Aid too much. Look at this man. Oh my God. He should be done. Start coaching college or high school. You're done. Bye.
Okay, man. You're no kids.
Bye.
You're in middle school.
Jack, is it his coaching or is it the fact that his eyes are like one color that are just like they look like black marble
right now with his eyes? Look at that. Oh my God. Yo,
I don't really know this coach Jack, but he kind of looked like he's like 28, but he's balding. It's a weird dynamic for me. And he got like this isn't helping this. You know what I'm saying? Like
he got hairline like LeBron James. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, don't put that on LeBron. Come on.
Why do you defend people from Ohio so much, Josh, with Baker Mayfield and now LeBron? What's your infatuation with Ohio?
So LeBron, I'm just joking. I mean, I think LeBron is the greatest basketball player of all time, but he's still funny. I don't know much about NBA history, so besides The Last Dance, I really don't know much about Jordan. As far as Baker goes, Baker's a whole more emotional level thing. Baker needs to get his head out of his ass. He played like complete booty cheeks this last week, but 2 of his interceptions were not his fault. They should have been PIs, but that's beside. They still would have lost that game.
Zeppelin, side note really quick, because I can decide. You watched the whole Last Dance documentary, and what you got out of that was LeBron James is the best player in the NBA. Is that what you got from that?
What I got out of that was I really hated being stuck in quarantine, but I also got out that I think Michael Jordan is the greatest competitor of all time.
Whatever. All right,
I don't.
Declan,
That's
what do you think about
different.
this? What do you think
Dude,
about
I'm just as stunned as you are that he even people, that means organizations had to sit down in a team meeting and write up a list of coaches that they potentially, want to give the keys to, that they think they can lead a team to the promised land, right? That's why you hire a head coach, and they wrote Gannon on their sheet.
what?
I don't know. I mean, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah,
What do
the
you mean?
secondaries played really well, but is that enough to say that this guy can control all aspects of a football team? I don't know, man. I think
No.
What about
I think
the
it's reaching.
defense as a whole though? Because I saw this stat today that on Twitter, and listen to this because this actually took me by surprise. The 2021 defensive ranks, yards a game, the Eagles are 5th in the league. Yards per play, the Eagles are 3rd in the league. Rushing yards a game, the Eagles are 9th in the league. That's top 10. Yards per rush, 3.9. The Eagles are 4th. Passing yards a game, the Eagles are 9th in the league at 215. Yards per attempt, they're 6th. 3 and out, 4th. And then last but not least, defensive touchdowns. We all know who's in the lead with that, Dallas. Eagles are number 2 in the league, though, with 5. That surprised me when I saw
This
that.
is all their defense, right?
This is all their defense, yes.
So Gannon's like that hot girl, in college, right? This is a little Colin Cowherd metaphor, where when it's good, it's really good, but when it's bad, you love to hate her. You love it.
Well, in fairness to him, he's coached really well. Sorry,
No,
that cut
he
you off.
has. That's what I was gonna say. He lost his best defensive lineman. Well, his best run stopper. I'll say that in Brandon Graham in week 2, and then the entire team kind of sucked. There was a whatever the word is, change in this team during that Lions game when we won. Our defense has played better since then. Sirianni has coached a better offense. He's called better plays. I liked Gannon before. I liked him as a hire. After watching him for a few first weeks, I hated him. I'm all on board now. I think he's coached a really good team. I think also the veterans have kind of stepped up, but I don't think he's ready to be a head coach. But I am fully on board for keeping him for next season as our defensive coordinator.
Well, and he's coaching the defense. I don't think he's capable of coaching a whole team. You know what I mean?
I can get on board with that, but I think there's a lot of hate on him still in Philly, and I think honestly at this point in the season it's kind of unwarranted.
I just meant more my biggest thing for him not being a coach was how long it took him to adjust with the personnel that he had. They didn't start really playing the best defense until week 9, week 10. And I think that's just way too late, especially if you're looking for, somebody that can come in and lead an organization. Don't get me wrong. I think he's done really well, but it's such a different level. We saw it with a guy like Jason Garrett, it's a different level being a coordinator versus being a head coach. And I just don't think he has the organizational ability,
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
All good points said. Let's talk about the month of December. Christmas is in the air. Christmas just passed, and our birds are undefeated. So how do you guys feel about that? I mean, we still are somewhat in the playoffs, but we still have a long road to travel. But from this whole month, this is my favorite watching the Eagles this whole month. So I'm really happy with what we've done. Everything seems to be gelling really well. So I'm happy that we didn't disappoint, or the Eagles didn't disappoint. The Eagles did not disappoint the fans. So,
well, I think this podcast hasn't disappointed the fans, so I think we can say we here as a whole.
I guess, yeah, we can say that. But yeah, so just take a take on, reflecting on this last month. We're almost out of this new month. Give it 2 more days. Josh,
God, so quick. Time really is a son of a bitch. I think, as far as I'm concerned, as a football fan, somebody who likes the NFL, The only thing you can ask for is to have a competitive team in December, a team that's fighting for the playoffs. Like I said, I think I said in last week's episode, my favorite seasons are either summer and then winter, or if the Eagles are in the playoff contention, then it's Christmas first and summer second. And we're here. We're here. We're fighting. There's a chance we could clinch the playoffs this week, which not that I think that the Eagles would do this, but the thought of us sitting our starters week 18 is hysterical, considering where we started and considering, like, even though we're a good team, we're not like a team that's anywhere near good enough to sit their players. So, I mean, this is all you can ask as an NFL fan, I think. So I'm more than happy with where we are right now.
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. When the Eagles,
You took the words right out of my mouth.
bing bong,
Oh,
baby.
Meatloaf fan? Sorry.
Who's that?
Meatloaf. Oh, don't tell me you don't know Meatloaf.
Oh, come
All right, that's
on.
Sounds very Serbian.
Come on.
That's your homework for this.
Meatloaf.
Look up Meatloaf soundtracks.
Please.
I'll have to look it up after the podcast. I mean, should I like be in a certain mood or anything? Or
Yeah, move the freaking rock.
yeah, you brought up some good stuff, Josh. The thing that strikes me is what Jack showed me at work today. The Eagles are undefeated in the month of December. Like, that's not an easy thing to do. December's, if not the most important month of football, I think, throughout the whole season. Just because it's a lot of it's the most competitive for sure. You have all, 32 teams, the teams that lost the whole season trying to find their dignity at the end of the year, get a win for their fans. And then you got the teams that there's probably usually like around 7 to 10 of them that are just like going to maybe make the playoffs. So it's nice to be one of those teams again. But also one thing I want to bring up, and we can kick it to somebody else, but Jalen Hurts has a passer rating of 89.5 throughout his career in the month of December. That's only through 6 games, but the Eagles are winning games. Hey, Josh, thank you for doing that. Thank you.
No,
Josh,
he's played well. You're right.
Anyway, the point is he
Nice.
played
Oh my
well
God.
in the month of
Saturday
December.
Night Live.
And not only is he playing well, but the team is winning games. So that's what I got to say.
And like we're undefeated with teams that are that of the Packers, the Dolphins, which helped us out huge when they beat the who they play?
Saints.
Yeah, Saints. So there's good teams that are undefeated in this month, and we have to be one of them. So that's pretty big in my opinion.
I think that game was at the end of November.
What game?
The Saints game.
No, he's talking
No,
about
the
the
Dolphins.
Dolphins winning.
He's talking about
Oh,
playoffs.
my bad.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, so I mean, I think everything's going well. Stars are aligning for us. And let's flash back to we talked about the defense. Let's talk about Alex Singleton. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, and I guess that's a good point. We got to do our jersey giveaway at some point. I might push it back another week because with all these graphics, I actually didn't have time to put in everything. I know a lot of you guys entered. I think what I'm going to do is for anybody that's watching the show right now to enter the jersey contest, if you want, comment on our Instagram right now. I was here 12/29 or whatever, and then I'll give you guys 10 additional entries. But yeah, game ball of the week this week is going to Alex Singleton. What do you guys think about his performance?
I told you
Here was 10 out of 10. Here was 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And I told you, preseason, because I saw how well he played. This dude's a beast. And, I mean, he's kind of becoming a good linebacker for us. Same with TJ Edwards. So I think he's played out of his mind. That pick he had was a beautiful play. Right after my boy Lane Johnson scored that touchdown and taking it back to the house for that pick was beautiful. So I really love this guy. He's been through a lot in his career. He played in the AFC or whatever, AFL or whatever, some different
Canadian
league.
something.
Yeah, something like that.
Knuckly,
CFL, yeah. And I really like this dude. I mean, Josh, it kind of reminds me of you with your long hair when you used to play lacrosse.
Yeah, when I had the lettuce.
Yeah, exactly.
Ages ago.
Jay, how do you feel about Alex Singleton?
All I gotta say is he's a good football player. I don't know much about him. He had that good play y'all were talking about. I'm not gonna say. I'm talking about the Eagles on the next topic. I got something to tell you about the Eagles. I got something from an outsider's opinion on the Eagles in general. Alex Singleton, you're cool in my book, but I don't got much to say about him. I'm not gonna act like I do.
I think he has played very well this season, and I know. So linebacker has always been an issue for Philly for the past 5 years. Whatever, it's always been something we haven't really hit in the draft. I personally think it is not a position that. I think it's okay if it's the weakest point of your defense. I don't really value linebackers that much, and I think we should draft one this season. But that being said, I think Singleton, and I'm going to throw TJ Edwards in the mix too. I think those two have played very well. Probably not. They're not Micah Parsons. They're not Clay Matthews in his prime or whatever. But I think they're good. I think they are finally thriving in this defense. I think you're seeing as a whole this defense is playing much better. They're getting more comfortable with the system and such. But I think the hate that Singleton was getting early in the season as, he's just tackling because he just runs to the ball after everybody else misses. I don't think that's warranted either. I think he's a good player, and I think he deserves – he's got 2 pick sixes in back-to-back seasons, which is not a big – that's a big thing for linebackers. So.
Yeah, and we've kind of pointed him out as somebody who's underperformed all year, which I think is warranted. I think that as we were saying, that entire position is underperformed. But I think it's crucial, especially with a team with so many young pieces like the Eagles, that your guys like Singleton, like Edwards, guys that haven't really played their best all year, step up in big moments like this. And I think it's a huge credit, especially to Gannon, I mean, like it or not, that his best players are starting to perform, or like guys that maybe were identified at the beginning of the season as best players and didn't fully live up to it are playing when it matters most. I think that's a really good sign for this team.
And do you accredit his success because of the coaching Gannon has given him, or just him as a player? What do you guys think on that?
Edwards
just
or
him.
Just
Singleton.
Singleton.
I think that's just him feeling more comfortable in the system, to be honest. I mean, and that's not taking anything away from Gannon. I think he's playing the same way he did last year. It's just people know him more now, and he has more liberty to do what he wants.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
One thing I wanted to point out too before we move on from this, who said TJ Edwards?
You
I
did.
think, was that you, Josh?
I mean, yeah, I brought him up.
No, they both. I had another graphic, and I wish that I sent it to myself. But TJ Edwards had 16 tackles in the game on Sunday. 16 solo tackles. I'm sorry, 16 solo tackles. And for a linebacker position, like that's an out of your mind game. And I think it kind of got overshadowed because of Singleton's pick six, which, hey, you deserve the game ball of the week. You totally get it, Singleton. But I think that these two are exceeding expectations, and hopefully, if we don't draft anybody, the two of them can come to be a good tandem. I still want us to draft somebody. I want to be clear about that. I don't think either of them are a good number one. I think that the both of them can shape up, though, to be a really, really good number two.
If we could put Singleton's mind into Edwards' body, we'd have the perfect linebacker.
I remember you, Josh. I remember you said that, the first or second episode. You mentioned that.
Yeah, no.
You might have said Davion Taylor. Did you say Davion Taylor earlier?
Yeah, I did earlier. Yeah, you called me, but he's hurt. So you know what? Hurt players get pushed to the back burner, and that's nothing you can do about that.
Hey, dog. I'll never get this opportunity to get with this image here. And I know you guys are Eagles fans. I've never seen that angle before of any player. It looks like a furry unibrow on the helmet. I've never seen it from not from the side. Anyway, I don't know if you guys
that
know.
out.
J Fly
I don't
making
know.
I can't tell if that's a shadow or what.
I don't know. So
Anyway,
we talked about being undefeated in December, right? And we talked about the playoffs. What immediate impact do you think the Eagles, if they do make it into the playoffs, can have?
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
I don't think anybody sees them making a huge run, but I think they could, knock a team out, in the first round or something like that.
And go ahead, Jack.
Oh, I just want. This is what I want to say about the Eagles, and that's kind of what was on my mind, because the Eagles and this is outsider's opinion. No disrespect, I love the Eagles, but up until the football team game, which was on last Tuesday or whatever, I like the Eagles and I wish them well, but I didn't see them as like a team I was really hopeful about in the playoffs, because there's only three teams that strikes fear in people, which is the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, and the Rams. You're really fearful about them, and then you have the teams that you're really hopeful about, like the Packers, The Cardinals are a team that people are hopeful about. I think the Eagles have now jumped into the bottom of that like kind of tier where like you can be hopeful about them to do something in the playoffs now. They should make it. And I feel like if they win a game, if they win the wild card game, now you kind of feel like maybe there's some momentum, some hope that they could actually make a run in the playoffs. I know me and Dalt were talking about the Colts and the Bengals earlier, other teams that I kind of feel like are on that like kind of run of teams that if they get hot and they do the right things and things fall their way, they can make a run. We're not fearful of it, like if you're going against them, but like it could I could see it happening now.
Yeah, and Josh or Dalton, pull that banner up again, the Confella dude. So I
I don't know how
think
to say your name. I'm sorry.
correct me if I'm wrong, if we went out the rest of our season, we beat the Cowboys, we play the Cowboys first round of the playoffs. Is that right? If they don't,
as of now, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what happened. I mean, it's
like if San Francisco loses or something like that.
there's
But
no
right
line.
now, as it stands,
yeah, because I mean the only thing that's holding us back from the playoff is us winning out the rest of our season and the 49ers. If the 49ers lose and we win out the rest of the season, then I think we'll have a miniature impact on the playoffs. I'm not saying we'll make it to the Super Bowl, but we'll make it somewhat far in the playoffs.
So yeah, I think the thing that's going to help us, our defense is playing really well, and we can run the ball. Those are like the two biggest things in the playoffs. That being said, I mean, at some point in the playoffs, whether it's the wild card, whether it's the divisional round, we're going to meet a team that just has a high-powered offense, Packers, Cowboys, and we're going to be down. And there might be like I don't trust our offense to maybe come up with that clutch touchdown with like a minute left in the fourth quarter. But I think, like I said in the last shows, and Cole, who's not with us tonight, was saying, "Oh, what's the big deal about playoffs?" I think the big thing is just getting our younger guys and the coaching staff experience. But I mean, I don't think we'll win the Super Bowl. I don't think we'll get to the NFC Championship game, but we could win a game. We could win a game with our run game. Like we could play spoiler a little bit here.
right.
And you guys know what's dope about talking about that? Flashback. Let me interview somebody right here on the screen. Jack Jordan. Flashback 1 year ago today. All right. I tell you that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be talking about making a playoff run. What are you telling me?
I'm saying hell no.
Right? Like, look at that turnaround. Like, nobody really wants to talk about that. And I'm going to put up a graphic, but tell me what kind of went through your head this season, Jack, watching this team, this young team, per se, transform right in front of your eyes. I'm going to put a graphic up.
Should I talk? Want me to talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I think what really kind of set us apart and made me think differently was when we beat the Saints. Because up until then, I was very skeptical about the Eagles. Because I forget his name, Jason Kelsey, the guy was on the show 2 weeks ago, hit on it. They were not expecting the Eagles to be this successful this season. And that's my mindset because we really didn't have that many players or many key players on our team. And they're all young. But now that we've kind of had a full season together with these young players, I think we're starting to gel a lot better together. And like I said, we always have to play all 4 quarters the same. And we struggled in the first half against the Giants, a shaky Giants team this past week, and then we picked back up in the second half. If we play all 4 quarters the same, I'm gonna keep saying it, then we have no issues. We should be successful. So I'm really happy so far what they've done.
I think a lot of people also, when these preseason ranks were coming out, everybody was like, "Oh, Carson Wentz, bad season, new coaching staff." People forget we brought back, like, with the exception of Jason Peters, we brought back our entire offensive line. And I know Brandon Brooks isn't playing right now, but like last year we had like the Blind Sisters of Mercy out there blocking.
Wow, from Walmart on our roster.
Like our offensive line is good. Pay Jeff Stoutland whatever he wants. Like it is a top-tier offensive line in the NFL. And even if a lot of our skill positions are new, our defense is kind of new, kind of old, veterans, whatever. If your offensive line's good, like you're going to win some games. You're going to be chippy. And that's what it took us a few games for our coaching staff to realize that. But like that's our bread and butter.
Exactly. Declan and Dalton, Jay, any other opinions on this?
You can go. Do you have anything, Declan?
Not really. I mean, you guys hit on everything. It is kind of crazy to think about, the complete turnaround, and it really wasn't huge roster moves. It was just, it's just crazy to watch.
And also, I think another issue was we got a brand new coaching staff, new head coach, new defense coordinator. So that was another issue that was like a lot of people were so, not confident on the team. So we hit on Hurts December, right? And we talked about the quarterbacks, talked about Minshew. But if you guys remember, this week, last week, Minshew went into Sirianni's office, and Sirianni, being a savage he is, Minshew asked, "Is there anything I can do to become a starter?" And Sirianni said, "Yeah, it's not happening." So I think he's a savage for that. What do you guys think about that?
Josh, go ahead and take it first because you're going to probably have the same answer as me. I want to see.
I
Do you think Sirianni is a savage?
Yes, I do. I think that's a sign of a good coach. Just being like, yeah, like, you know what, like, probably not in the cards. So I mean, people are like, oh, that's a dick move. No, that's a football coach. They're weird. They're mean. They're not normal people. You got to shoot it straight. And I love it. I love Minshew too. Dude broke his hand so he could have another year of playing college football. So I think he'll land on his feet. But yeah, I like the move.
It upsets me, honestly, because like I'll just play devil's advocate real quick, and then you can take it, Jack. But like I won competition in the beginning of the year, and all you guys are Eagles fans. You guys remember when like Sirianni was like nobody's starting, and we're like, what? Like, and he's like, everybody has to earn their position. It was kind of weird. And I don't know, it just feels hypocritical to me for him to like go back and say it. Like, obviously, no shit, Sherlock. No shit, Hurts is gonna start. But don't take the wind out of his sail. Like, if you have a guy in your locker room that wants to compete and play at a high level, I don't know why you would just like persuade him not to. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Well, and to your point, yes, Sirianni is a savage for saying that. But also, Minshew, you have to look on his end. He wants to do anything he can to become that starter, whether it be this season or if he's still on the team next season. He's willing to work hard to become that starter. So I think it's a good sign from secondary quarterback to mention that. But I mean, you're gonna expect that coming from him because he just went 20 and 25 passing. So he's expecting a lot out of it. But I think I still. Love Minshew, and I'm glad he's trying to figure out what he can do. But that's my opinion on it.
In my humble opinion, if the Denver Broncos do not call asking for a trade for Minshew at the end of the season, or maybe even the Steelers, those two franchises are idiots.
The thing is, that means that Minshew likes our city, though, right? Like, what do you guys think? I don't know, Jay down there. What do you think? Do you think that he likes the city because, like, if he's saying, I want to start in this city, I mean, that must mean that he must be comfortable with the fan base, at least in my opinion.
Well, I think he likes the city, but I also think he's there now and he wants to start now. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever team he was on, he would like the city because he wants a job, he wants a starting job, and I think I'm a Hurts guy. We talked about this, but I want to answer Jack what he said really quick. I don't think Nick Sirianni is a savage at all, and this is why. Because he's been throwing temper tantrums on the sideline, like I don't want to say anything crazy, but I don't think he's a savage. He'd be crying and like pouting and stuff like that on the sideline. I don't like Sirianni very much, and this whole thing with it's not gonna happen. This is why I don't like it. And me and Dalt talked about one side of it already on Up for Debate. I'm gonna talk about the other side. If I'm Jalen Hurts, and I know I'm the starter, I know I'm the better player, and I know I'm that guy. I want the coach to be, kind of lighting that fire under me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a guy right behind you that wants it just as bad as you do or more. Like, how bad do you want this? You know what I'm saying? Because if you guys being Eagles fans, I think you guys would want Jalen Hurts to want to if Gardner Minshew is doing this and that to get the starting job, you want Jalen Hurts doing the same exact things or more, doing the same thing. So that's why I don't like that it's not going to happen because now I'm comfortable if I'm Jalen Hurts. I don't got to do the extra workout. I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Who else is going to take my job? So I don't like that from a coaching standpoint. As a star player, and of course, as Gardner Minshew, not going to like it because you know what I'm saying, you shutting him down. Anyway, I don't like Sirianni at this point. I'm not a big fan of him anymore. I kind of was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but not a big Sirianni guy anymore. Anyway.
Well, I think also, like, if you look at, like, what happened last year where, like, Hurts was always behind, Wentz is back. Hurts is playing well this season. I don't think Sirianni wants another quarterback controversy. In preseason, the quarterback competition is fine, but when the team is meshing well, it's not good.
Yeah, and from our viewers on Facebook, Kennedy, you saw that comment he said. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. But yeah, I agree with that. It's stupid, coming off a season where Hurts just started and played really well as a rookie, and then coming into this new season to have a competition isn't the smartest thing to have because you want to build that confidence for Jalen Hurts, and by having this competition, it kind of kills his confidence. And we saw it like previous beginning half of the season where he wasn't confident at all at what he was doing. So I agree with you, Kennedy, for 100% on that. You guys have any takes on that? What he said?
No, I want to agree with that too because I don't want to get what I said kind of misconstrued. I think he should never go to the media and say there's a competition or anything like that. It should be Jalen Hurts is our starter. But when someone comes up and says, "What do I got to do to get more playing time or get a starting spot or whatever to get better?" You tell him what he got to do. You say, "This is what you should be doing every day." And if the time comes, if Hurts gets injured, something like that, this is your spot. You know what I'm saying? If Jalen Hurts starts slacking, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it should be a competition. I just think that you can't just blow a guy off. You know what I'm saying? But it shouldn't be a competition. Jalen Hurts is a better player. He's a starter for sure.
Well, I don't think it has to be one thing or the other, though. I think he has that balance of saying, like, hey, Minshew, like, you're not going to get Jalen's job because we fully believe in Jalen. But, the fact that has come out into the media and now Jalen knows that Gardner's, like, actively trying to work hard. It's like an iron sharpens iron thing. Like, oh, he's going to do this thing. I'm going to try and one up him. I'm going to keep getting better so that this is never even in question. Like, I think it can be both things. I think this is what the Carson Jalen situation should have been last year. Kind of like what Kennedy was saying, in a way, they're going in the exact opposite route of what happened to Carson. I think, where Carson's confidence was kind of shattered when Foles won the Super Bowl and, there was that competition element. Then they draft Jalen, trade up to get him and all that stuff. I think this is how it should have played out. And they're finally kind of righting those wrongs. And I think this will ultimately be a positive situation.
Right. Everything was good said. I agree with everyone. Thank you, Kenny, for bringing that up. Making transition, I think we need to talk about – there's a few more topics before we end the show. One I want to hit on was Darius Slay. Was this his first Pro Bowl, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's his first in his career, but definitely his first in a Philly uniform.
So, I mean, and of course, Jason Kelsey's on there too. But I think that builds Darius Slay's confidence even more. And I agree with his that decision from being the Pro Bowl because this dude had a stellar season, 100%. I mean, not the first half, but midway through the season, this guy came out of the woodwork and played really well. So
that 4-game stretch, Jack, where he had 3 picks or whatever. Right. Or 3 TDs, I should say. 3 TDs.
So, I mean, if you guys want to talk about Darius, let's do it.
I'll start real quick. He's the first Eagles cornerback to a Pro Bowl since Asante Samuel, so that's
what it was. Yeah, first.
But number 2, what I just said, Jack, the 3 touchdowns in 4 games. I just want to elaborate on that. Josh had a great point earlier about how difficult it is to be a linebacker and get 2 picks in back-to-back seasons. How much more difficult is it to be a freaking cornerback? I think it's easier to get touchdowns at cornerback than linebacker, don't get me wrong. But still, be on defense and score 3 touchdowns in 4 games. If you're telling me any NFL player is doing that, the first player to come to my mind is LT, Lawrence Taylor, any defensive player. And that's the only guy I can think of that I would actually believe had a stat that crazy. So I just think that he's getting older, but he's not slowing down. And that's a great stat to see. And I think he fits right in with Gannon.
Yeah, no, I agree. Any other opinions on this one?
Sorry, I was dealing with a family issue there. You know how families are. Darius Slay is incredible. And my only regret is that he was not on our team maybe 3 years earlier. He's definitely – I mean, you think of like secondaries in Philly, you think Asante, Dawkins, Malcolm Jenkins, McLeod, and they're all amazing. Darius Slay, by far, is the most talented out of all of them. Not the best player, not the best Philadelphia Eagle, but most just like inherently talented as a football player. It's him. He deserves it. He's very good, and I think honestly having McLeod be like the leader of our secondary and like maybe make a lot of the calls, and just having Slay do what he's comfortable with, just playing on man to man, just attacking the ball, I think has really helped him, and I think it's a big part of his success this season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's played well this whole season, so
I think I take back what I said earlier. I think Gannon deserves a head coaching job strictly because he got out of Slay's way. I think that's the whole reason he should get a head coaching job. I mean, he struggled earlier in the season because the system he was in completely went against his strengths. And then finally they put him in a system where he's able to flourish and he gets the Pro Bowl nod. Like, well deserved. You know, they finally let big play Slay be big play Slay. Like, that's what it boils down to. I think everybody knew the implications of what Darius Slay coming to Philadelphia should have meant 2 years ago. And you're finally getting to see it play out on a big stage. I think it's incredible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ray,
What do you
Ray,
think, Ray?
No, I mean, Darius Slay, he's been a big name for a while, you know what I'm saying, for as long as I can remember, really, this big corner, and it kind of felt like I haven't really heard much from him in like recent memory for like the past 2 years or so. And this year I'm finally hearing about him again. It's good to hear from him again and hear about him again, because when you're on the outside looking in, you don't really know about every single play. I can tell you guys about like Jeremy Lane, or I can tell you guys about like a random Patriots like defensive player when Tom Brady was there, something like that. But for the most part, I don't know. Darius Slay is a guy that everyone should know about in the league, and I'm glad that now he's in Pro Bowl and everyone, like, he has national attention again. So happy for him.
And in the spirit of Christmas and Hallmark movies, this was a storybook end. This kid, this beginning of the season, was struggling with mental illnesses, Lane Johnson, and the fact that he scored a tutty on Sunday against the Giants was huge. And I mean, he did the Lambo leap into the stands. That was awesome. And you know what's funny? I guess the Cowboys are watching the game because, you know, at night they did the same play to their offensive line. They threw a touchdown to them. So I'm so happy for Lane Johnson, and it was a good play call. And I think I talked to Josh about this. They mentioned that he was, you know, an eligible receiver before the play started. So Josh knew that this was going to happen. So I'm glad it happened. It's not as good as the Philly special, but it's pretty awesome. So,
yeah. So I was watching the game on the national broadcast with, I don't know who did it. I don't know who the commentators were, but whoever the Philly local broadcast guy is, he's a legend. I don't know him that well because I never got his station. Merrill Reese. Yeah. Merrill Reese. So I saw his Twitter clip, and he actually said the same thing I did, where you can see that Lane Johnson came out and was eligible, but he was lined up in the tackle position. He wasn't lined up as a tight end. I think if he was lined up as tight end, it might have given it away. But the fact that he was lined up in the tackle position I was like, he's eligible. They're definitely gonna throw him this ball, right? And he deserves it. And I love fat man touchdowns.
Yeah. Well, that the Chargers lineman previous in the season, he had that fumble recovery. It was called back, but that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, everything's just, you know, I mean, the fact that he sold a block and then went out for the reception they sold the play really well. So,
it was great. Yeah, I mean, it's not a hard play call to draw up, but it's hard to actually call, I think, in a game moment.
Yeah. And it was beautiful to see against the Giants, Declan, the team that lost, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we always have that one, you know.
Right.
I'll take that. Can I say something in our last 10 minutes here, because I did want to make sure we brought attention to this.
I was about to bring it up too about John Madden. So
perfect. Yeah. Take it away, Jackson.
Yeah, so this guy, I mean, this week I've had a heavy heart. This guy has been in our life. Us being kids, RIP John Madden, a great legend. Us being young guys, we played Madden all the time. So seeing him pass away is really tough. I think it's gonna be tough on the whole NFL as a whole. He did great things for the NFL, and I did not know that he played for the Eagles or he got drafted by the Eagles. Dawn put something on Instagram today, and I didn't know that. And the guy commented, "Yeah, he got drafted by them, but he got injured, so he didn't play a single snap for them." But yeah, this guy's a legend. The fact that we still play his games today was awesome. So, RIP to John Madden, and it was nice seeing him be able, because on Christmas Day, if you guys remember, they came out with a special for John Madden, and seeing him pass away like 3 days later is kind of crazy, but it kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, it was surreal.
Deep in my heart.
Yeah, I'm happy that came out before it died.
Let's, guys, can we take a moment of silence real quick and then start the show up again?
Thank you, Jack. That was a great introduction. You took the words right out of my
beautiful.
mouth. Rest in peace, John Madden. That was a great tribute, Jack. Well done.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that he played for the Eagles, so something we definitely wanted to bring attention to. On more of a positive note, we got 10 minutes left. You guys know what time it's for. Our Philadelphia Eagles Washington football team preview. The Eagles can clinch the playoffs this week, right? If I'm not mistaken, if we win.
They can.
Yeah.
No. Well, they need to win, but they need the
49ers to
Vikings to lose and the 49ers to win, I believe.
Well,
And one thing too, Jack, just before I forget, because we have to wrap these two into one. Connect, guys, to what you think is going to happen with Washington. But who do you guys think is the Eagles' heartbeat this week too? Because that's our main topic tonight that I forgot to bring up.
all right, we can do that. But Josh or Dalton, I forget the guy's name, Confiletto or whatever. He put something in the chat on what we need to do to get in the playoffs. Like, I don't know what it was, but
we need to win. The Saints need to lose, and the Vikings need to lose. That's what it is.
I got it right here.
yeah, right there. Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you, Confiletto, for letting us know. But yeah, guys, this is a big week, and like I said, I think the heartbeat of this team this week has to be the offense. I'm for the defense. Defenses play well. I know the football team are struggling with some injuries on offense. That kind of helps us out, but we need to play well and play a good 4 quarters of football. That's all I have to say.
Well, I'll take this one. It's really easy for me. The defensive line, to me, is the heartbeat because they have no quarterback. You can get to whoever's playing, whether it be Kyle Allen or Tyler Heineke or Gilbert, whoever his name is. Get to him, make the quarterback throw bad throws. You're going to get pick sixes. You're going to get turnovers. You're going to get sacks. I think the defensive line can really wreck the game plan for Washington and win the game for them.
Also, before I'm done talking, we forgot to mention this is also a big week for the offense too, because as we all know, Devontae Smith is 89 yards from passing the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver rookie.
The rookie.
I'll pull up that graphic right now, Jack. Great job connecting that too. Thank you. Here you go. 92 yards away, Jack. So you hit the nail on the head, but there you go. That's the stat.
So, this guy's a beast. This guy is a beast. I love what he's done for us. He's a really good receiver. So, all hopes, fingers crossed, he gets those 92 yards.
That's my answer. I'll take it while he's on the board, my graphic. Who is the heartbeat of this Eagles team? Look, Jalen Hurts was here last year. Miles Sanders was here last year. Lane Johnson was here last year. I'm not saying that these guys don't play into the rest I'm going to make an analogy. They don't play into the rest of the body. The body has lots of organs. You need separate organs to make the body function. Sometimes you need the kidneys. Sometimes you need the brain. You need the lungs. I'm going to say Devontae Smith is the heartbeat. I like a lot of the passion that he's found, and you guys can all attest to this. When he came in, he was kind of shy, and I know that me and Jack talked about it a lot at work, but he was kind of on the shy side with just like everything that was going on. I don't think that he came out of his shell fully, so it's nice to see him come out of his shell and kind of be the role model and the leader for the rest of the wide receivers and set the tone. I don't know. That's my answer. Who do you got? Who didn't go yet?
Jason Kelce, by far. I already talked about how the offensive line, like the whole rushing attack, is solely based on the offensive line. Jason Kelce is the heartbeat of the offensive line, which is the heartbeat of the team. QED is the heartbeat of the team. I think we just saw a Washington team get smoked on national TV. I think they're going to come out scrappy. They're technically not eliminated from the playoffs yet, but they're probably not going to make it, and I think they know that, and I think they kind of just want to play spoiler, kind of like the Eagles are going to play when they make the playoffs, not if. So I think our defense needs to come prepared. I think it's going to be a scrappy game, kind of like how our first match with the Washington team went. I don't think it's going to be like playing the Giants last weekend. It's going to be tighter. So I think we just need to hit on all three phases. I know that sounds cliche, but that's literally what has to happen.
And I mean, when we played them at first, their rosters put together by like sticks, but now they have pretty much most of their players back from COVID, so that's gonna be another
Yeah. COVID. Yeah,
So Declan,
definitely will help them.
Yeah, I stole my answer. It's going to start and end with the offensive line, whether they can provide enough run protection for that offense to get going. That's going to open up the pass game. If they can give enough time for Hurts to get in the pocket and really pick apart this Washington secondary, because their defense is relatively, still good. I mean, they got blown out last week, obviously, but I think they're still a really formidable team, especially against an Eagles offense that if it comes out slow, they would jump right over or jump right on. So I think, like you said, Josh, it's Kelsey, but it's that whole offensive line. They need to dominate early and often. And if that offense can get off to a strong start, I don't see them losing this game.
Big boys got to eat.
and also, like I said, 4 quarters have to matter. Play the same 4 quarters. So before we end the show, there's 2 things I want to bring up. Score prediction this week, and then also if we pull up the graphic from the Philly Insider, they said about winning the game. The Eagles getting playoffs.
Philly Insider.
Like,
did I pull it up earlier?
yeah, you had it up.
I'll be inside.
Yeah, it's the comment.
Yeah, the comment.
That one didn't.
Oh, okay.
My fault.
Hey, Conflate.
We gotta do the jersey.
Come on, for this week.
So
Send me a phonetic spelling of your name. That would be
Yeah.
helpful so I can
Yeah.
call you out correctly because I feel bad that I messed it up.
So thank you, Philly Insider Podcast, which is, I think it's pretty big. To clinch, Eagles need to win, Packers need to win, Niners need to win, or Panthers win. So with that, I think the Eagles are going to win. Let's go with 27-24.
Ooh,
Eagles.
hot take.
Jay?
Oh, I got 38-0 Eagles. Go Birds. They got smacked by the Cowboys. The Eagles are going to smack them, in my opinion.
Okay. Does that be Peppy?
17-12.
You think it's going to be that low scoring game?
Oh, that's ugly.
I do. I think this is not going to be a fun game to watch. This is going to be a game where we are just like, well, we got the win. Conflate, my guy.
Conflate. Thank you, Conflate. Appreciate that.
You. Tune in next week. We'll give you a better call out.
Mine is, I'm with Josh. Low scoring game. It's going to be like not a pretty game. It's going to be a hissing match. If Tom was here, he'd say that. I'm going to say that at the end of the day, give me like 21-13 Eagles.
Tom's going to be chewing on a copper pipe the entire game, just so stressed out.
I just think that Washington's going to be pissed too, because like it's not that they like had like a bad loss to us. It's just like, I don't know. It was just kind of weird circumstances. So I think that they're going to play hard this game.
Declan, you're the last one.
Give me 24-13 Birds.
Perfect.
Bet.
Well, look, guys, I want to thank all these guys for coming on the show. I want to thank somebody importantly, Mr. J Fly up here for staying on the whole show. J Fly, we love you. We appreciate you. If I still had the soundboard up, oh wait, I do. I could hit you with a.
Oh, thank y'all. Hey, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all. It's fun, man. I love watching your show, and then being on it was really fun. So I appreciate y'all.
Also, guys, all the viewers on Facebook, YouTube, thank you for viewing tonight. Kennedy,
Spotify.
Really good takes. And then I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year because New Year's coming. So anyway, who wants to do the honors?
I think Josh did. Josh had something to say, and then do the honors.
The CDC now recommends yelling "run the ball" 5 times in the first quarter at your TV, yelling at Nick Sirianni. We'll see you guys next week.
Let's go.
Run the ball, run the ball, run.